when a woman goes with the moon, follows her own flow. She is gentle and strong. Magic comes through her. I wasn't planning on making a one-woman show. It came about because I was in this meditation and we were asking the question, how can I help to bring about the return of the divine feminine? And I didn't know what I was going to hear, but I tend to hear things rather than see things in journeying sort of situations, and what I heard was this voice saying, bring through the vibration of Rhiannon. And I didn't really know much about Rhiannon, so I had to go and find out. So hello, thank you so much for coming.
Hello. No.
Most of you don't know me. I don't know you. Few of you do know me, but you might know me better by the end of this evening than you do now.
Cool. So if you can, it was great to watch, and so much clearer storytelling. Storytelling and some kind of performance is about as old as the human race.
Yeah.
And shamanic, and it's kind of medicinal, shamanic qualities are as old as we are.
There's threads of the divine feminine and what that means. There's threads of the horse, and threads of the woman, threads of the embodied feminine. Rhiannon loved to ride. Where she lived, it was always summer. She lived in her father's land, the land of fairy. Well, there's a young man coming tonight, Wow. You'll remember him from the tournaments. I thought it was as well to get these things tied up as soon as possible. He's going to be your husband. Husband? What did this have to do with me? When I read the story, I didn't really love it. There were bits that I was excited by, but I didn't think it wasn't the kind of big, strong goddess story that I wanted to tell. It didn't have a good ending. And part of me thought, shall I change the ending? Is that what I need to do? But at that point I worked with you and we discussed whether we might change the ending, and instead of that we kind of brought in my story, which made it much more layered. So it became a dialogue between my story and her story.
You give her status right at the start, because then also we've got to meet 52-year-old Jackie, who you're kind of giving not so much status. Although by the end, in a way there's a reversal, because she gets really low status, which is really disappointing, and you're going to step up and take her status, which is what's exciting. So at the start we're seeing that reversed, you see her. So it's lovely if you really take a moment to go, Rhiannon, goddess, and we see a goddess, and then we go, a 52-year-old Jackie, mum of 2 teenagers, a bit perimenopausal, might forget some stuff, sorry. But that we see that contrast and you leave space around both.
I don't think there's anyone else I would have been able to work on this with, actually, because it's such personal material. And I was really nervous about bringing this kind of sacred work into a theatre setting, and I knew that you would understand that.
Can we try that it gets bigger and bigger and gets more and more blurry?
In a semi-detached house with a little pocket-sized garden, and none of us knew anything about horses really. The nearest I got was our local stable. Now you work with the horse to accept the bridle. Now you start off with just a bit, a plastic bit, and you put honey on it. And then you offer it to the horse, and the horse likes the honey, so it takes it, it chews it.
And it gets used to it. And then gradually, you can put just one strap over the horse's neck whilst it chews the honey. Have you heard of a scold's bridle?
Yes.
Let me describe it to you. It's made of iron. It has a piece that goes over the head like this. It has a piece that goes over the nose, either side of the nose. It has an iron piece around the back and a padlock. It has a plate, an iron plate here that goes in the mouth. Sometimes there was a metal spike pointing down. This is what it says on the little label. Scold's bridle, unprovenanced, an instrument of punishment, worn by women, thought to have been gossiping or quarrelling too much. 1300 to 1800.
I want to sort of name some of your daughters, my daughter,
Yeah.
and at the same time, like the divine feminine, for some people that's, I guess, because we're so familiar with the idea of God, so the idea of the divine feminine is quite alien. What does that even mean?
And we don't know. There is a sense in which we don't know what it feels like to live with the divine feminine because we haven't. So we're guessing and we're searching.
I'm thinking of that poem, that Mary Oliver one, because it's so on cue, isn't it?
Yeah, and she has it. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves.
Because I've had enough. I've had enough of saying yes when I need to say no. I've had enough of quietness and strength. I've had enough of staying silent when there's so much that I want to say.
What's the alternative to that kind of education, that kind of narrowing oppression of women, where we bridle all those passions, where women aren't allowed to speak, they're not allowed to feel, they're not allowed to actually be in these bodies because in case they might possibly be sexually arousing for men who then can't handle it. But that's what this is for. This is because theatre's a place where you can try stuff, you can make stuff up. So it's a step towards making this up in the world.
Come, Rhiannon. Come on your white horse. Heal what is sick in our hearts, in our world. Bring rest to those who cannot rest, and an end to all those systems whose time is over. When a woman goes with the moon, follows her own flow, she is swift and slow, no one can catch her. When a woman goes with the moon, follows her own flow, she is gentle and strong, magic flows through her.